Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. Previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One, and Player One Coffee. There you go. Um, I'm, of course, your host, that guy, James Stray, alongside the Americans to the West.
Uh, uh, a derp?
And it was a good week for Wrestling With as we interviewed David Gomez of the Wrestling Guy Store. Fantastic interview, fantastic individual. Very wrestling oriented for somebody that's just has a small business in Los Angeles. I always enjoy those ones because it's a little different than what we do, obviously, weekly with actual pro wrestlers. And then on Wednesday, we interviewed Borat Baroni. Fantastic interview. Incredible individual as well. And obviously, a new World Tag Team champion. And definitely wishing the best. And you can find those interviews in the archives now. This upcoming Tuesday, we got Danny and Derek Dickler, the Double D's. First time we had siblings on at the same time. We talked about that. Wrestling other siblings, including uh, Devon Dudley's sons, Trash Talking Tuesday, and a hell of a lot more. Definitely a fun interview that you want to check out. And this upcoming Wednesday, we have Lexi Lux, our first interview from Sweden. We talked about Death Match Pro Wrestling, getting her name right on the poster, um, Animal Crossing, The Sims, and a hell of a lot more. You definitely want to, and wrestling in Poland as well. And here are some clips of those interviews now. Now, you guys wrestled Terrence and Pharrell, the sons of one of the greatest tag teams of all time, Devon Breakker. And I believe the last time you actually competed against each other was in the main event. So what was it like, competing against a second generation tag team and being trusted in the main event?
I don't think I wasn't too nervous to be in the main event. I think we're made being that kind of spotlight, be in that position. But wrestling the quality of that kind of team was pretty daunting, and kind of the level that that could take. So it took a lot. It was a lot of preparation, a lot of mental preparation to just taking it all in. Like I got hit as much as it hurt and it sucked taking. I got hit with the 3D by Devon's son. Like I feel like that I could just rest easy knowing that. I would have rested easier if we would have won, but I was resting pretty easy. I took the move. I'll tell you, I wasn't moving. No,
Who was the most annoying character?
You see, that's where my issue. Me and my best friend Emma, we always discuss this because we play together. She has a Switch and I have a Switch, and we visit each other. And she has pretty much a kill list of villagers. I can't because they look like animals, and I love animals, and I feel bad talking shit about them. So I get a guilty conscience, and it's like I am terrified in real life of birds for some reason. I find birds very scary, like seagulls. Not all birds, but like seagulls and stuff. And the only two villagers on my island right now are just birds. And Emma's like, well, you can get rid of them. I'm like, but that's so mean. I can't do that.
Alright, on the 27th, we got Andros J. On the 28th, Riley Rose. On the 4th, we have Aaron Wade. And on the 5th, Katya the Soviet Suicide. Alright, now that we're done putting ourselves over, we are wrestling with the news. And a big news article this week, if you didn't see it on Wednesday, was Jon Moxley breaking kayfabe. Now, my thing is, it's one thing to say, oh, well, it's predetermined, it's fixed, it don't matter, yada yada. But that's outside of the pro wrestling ring.
Mm.
When the when the when it's actually on screen,
Mm.
I feel like that is a big no-no.
And you know what? I just have to just we're clear on this for everybody. I happen to see this too, and we're referring to Mox going right up to I believe was it Nick and whisper and telling him something right at ringside, right at hard cam.
I mean, and he didn't even like make an effort to hide what he was doing. It was just like they were backstage. Maybe he thought they were backstage. You know, that's
You
just
know,
weird.
you know, it's weird that you know we surround ourselves with wrestling uh, almost as much as possible, so much to the point that eventually we get sick of it and we can take a break. But 9 times out of 10, we have wrestling on in some capacity in the background in our everyday lives, me and James, and this was it was one of the moments I happened to be looking up at my television instead of at my computer screen, and I like, wait a minute, that Mox, oh my god, like we saw you, Mox. I what's worse, being caught like that or hearing a spot called very audibly?
Well, I mean, having a spot called audibly, you could blame that on maybe the sound guy. You can't blame a sound guy or even the production truck for not showing it. It was the hard cam. It was literally right there. And it's just, okay, kayfabe. Maybe it's dead, maybe it's not. Maybe it was there, maybe it was never there to begin with. But if it's in front of your TV screen when it's supposed to be something else, I mean, you don't watch Breaking Bad to see them break character into Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul. You know what I mean?
No, I watch it for the recipes for crystal meth.
Exactly. I believe that's a cooking show for you.
Yes, yes, it is. Now,
I just watched Martha Stewart. She has some great recipes.
oh, that woman knows how to bake a nail file into a cake. Oh man, um,
Well, she does know steak though.
would if Mox had claimed that this was a state of delirium, and I don't know, he went up to Matt Jackson thinking it was Renee, and decided to like lick him in the ear. Would
Oh,
he have gotten away with it?
oh God! Will you stop it?
No, I'm talking about if he literally blamed it on a temporary head injury
I
and
mean,
being
as far as I know, Moxley hasn't commented on it Yeah, but
You could say he's being shielded.
hmm, that he is. Um, but I mean, all he had to do was say what he needed to say to Matt. It was Matt, right? Not Nick.
It was Matt. Yes, it
Yeah.
was Matt.
Say what he needed to do to Matt, and then just hit him. Hit him whatever he needed to hit him on the back, in the face, smack him around, just so we know. Maybe you could say, okay, maybe he was talking shit into his ear if he was smack talking him, but he didn't.
I think this also has to do a little bit with the fact that Eddie Kingston was in the ring. God bless Eddie, but I'm sorry, the man takes quite a while for his spots.
I don't think they were in position as well.
Yeah, I think Moxley. I honestly think this is just a caught up in the moment thing. Um, if we hadn't knew Matt was there, we wouldn't be talking about this.
If there was maybe a better camera angle, I would say. But again,
I
it was
mean,
on hard. It was on hard
it was
cam.
hard cam, yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to conceal shit like that.
And the one time and tried and true rule when you are a competitor, you milk everything to hard cam.
Right.
If you do anything, you do it in front of hard cam.
Well, he did it on hard cam. This was new to not New Japan. AEW would protect pro wrestling somewhat, and it just seems like all of the goodwill that WWE has made headway for pro wrestling to be better and be shown in a good light, in a positive light. AEW is. It seems like they're actively seeking to destroy it.
Now, I think I might have to break kayfabe a little bit here. Um, as of this recording, uh, Mox is hosting a pro wrestling seminar
Oh,
in Dayton, Ohio. Only 20 spots, and you must have 8 months wrestling experience. Do you think anybody canceled after that?
oh my. Well, speaking about somebody with 8 months of wrestling experience, Jungle Boy. He will be wrestling the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, SANADA. What the fuck?
There are so many surprising things in that sentence alone, including IWGP champion Sanada.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong about that part.
Uh, but Jungle, I mean, these those title matches are really they're throwaway matches, since we know those titles are not going to change on American soil,
Canadian soil.
Canadian soil, whatever soil. It's soil. I'm soiling myself right now.
Take your meds, sweetie.
No. I mean, out of all out of everybody on that list, I and I'm a fan of Jungle Boy, and even I'd say, he was not the right call. Uh, if I had to put in, another midget, um, I put Darby in it.
I mean, if you want an AEW original, then yeah, Darby would be the guy I would assume that you would go with. But let's look at people that don't have a match for Forbidden Door. Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley. I mean, at this point, Ida Cannoli, um,
Adam Cole.
CM Punk. I mean, these are all viable options. I mean, if you want to get like interesting and like want to pull a number or pull a crowd, Sting. I feel like Sonata's safe enough that he would be able to work well with Sting. And has Sting ever challenged for an IWGP title before?
Mm, no, no.
So, I mean, you wouldn't see that as an attraction? I mean, if we're getting like really technical here, I would go with Hook before I go with Jungle Boy.
Mm,
Your thoughts?
Uh, God, I mean, Hook and Sonata. It's interesting, considering the news that broke about Hook today.
I'm unaware of that news.
Uh, uh, he is apparently in the sights of Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Hmm. And
They,
if he's smart, let it go. Um.
oh shit! Oh damn it!
Yeah. What?
Oh no! Oh, no.
You were what?
But
Looking at
no,
Nia
no,
Jackson's
no,
fans?
no,
It's not too
no.
good.
But some idiots are going around and pulling down pride flags displayed on people's properties or in my neighborhood.
Well, let's talk about what what ju- why would you go with Jungle Boy? I mean, there's so many viable options, but and for the IWGP Championship, which is arguably the second most prestigious championship in the world today. No,
Yeah.
the other title match for Forbidden Door is MJF versus Tanahashi. I mean, okay, yeah, you're at least gonna get a decent match. You know who's gonna win. It doesn't hurt Tanahashi that he loses, but you can't deny that Tanahashi's a big name. No,
Oh no, actually one of the biggest names in New Japan, clearly.
yeah. One The other thing that I found interesting, because we're doing a full review of Forbidden Door next week on the show, no women's match. And it doesn't seem like there's any effort to have a women's match on the card. I mean, honestly, New Japan doesn't technically have a women's division. They have that kind of goes hand in hand with their partnership with Stardom. Apparently, AEW has had no contact with Stardom to try and bring one of the girls over to do a match for Forbidden Door.
I mean, considering the fact that we didn't get Punk Tanahashi like we were supposed to, I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, for all we know, they'll probably put Punk on the show after Collision airs. Uh, but I mean, unless they're planning to have Kenta show up, uh, you know, we're not getting Punk. I mean, it's the randomness of it.
A potential Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy match as well. When we were supposed to get Bryan Danielson versus ESJ last year, I feel
Well,
like they don't treat the AEW women with as much respect as they should.
uh, I I I don't think it's that. I really think it's a matter of, well, okay, New Japan. It's New Japan that's doing this, not New Japan and Stardom. Um,
But I mean, if you're Tony Khan, the head of AEW, you have girls on your roster, and you're producing an anti-revolution pay-per-view essentially because when you say, "Hey, let's try and work with Stardom to get a goal or two from over there to come over and compete with our goals,"
uh, correct me if I'm wrong. Stardom is not under the same ownership as New Japan.
it's not under the same ownership, but it's underneath the same. It's kind of like how WWE is underneath the same banner as UFC is now, essentially.
So they would have probably had to have reached an agreement with Stardom beforehand. Um, and it looks like they want to keep the matches to all strictly AEW versus New Japan. I would not be surprised if there is a women's division Forbidden Door uh, in the near future. I don't, and I'm sorry to say this. I don't think it would do well on pay-per-view. I think it would probably work well as one of AEW's TV specials.
Mm. Oh, we shall see. More on bad booking decisions. Seth Rollins will defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Bron Breakker next week on NXT TV. Now, personally, if You want to have a prestigious champion, fighting champion. Why do you lower? You already cheapen it and lower him to go to essentially the training camp to have a match with Bron Breakker.
This is once again the WWE attempting to essentially make NXT the NXT looks like it's going to be a roster full of free agents, and I use the term very loosely. That NXT stars from now on will be able, will can make challenges to Raw and SmackDown superstars, and and vice versa. Is this a little another a test to see if it's worth doing, and if it's possibly worth taking NXT's TV out of out of Orlando? Quite possibly. The big rumor is that there's not going to be an NXT event around SummerSlam, that NXT championships are going to be defended at SummerSlam.
I would assume maybe on the pre-show.
Not from what I'm hearing. So here's the question. Breakker is in a program with Ilya Dragunov. Yeah, and of course Seth has the history of NXT, the first NXT champion.
Right.
Is the WWE insane enough to actually do this and pull the trigger on Braun beating Seth?
Oh, hell no. I mean, he just won the championship. If he didn't just win the championship, I would say that's a possibility. But he's only one defense in, and like 2 weeks in, so I'd say
Well, I mean, plus, Seth also has an issue, open challenge issued for Monday.
I mean, why
This
that have been Bron Breakker?
It might be.
It can't be if he's wrestling him on Tuesday.
Unless they use Monday night as an excuse to change it.
Now, that was my big problem with it, is that Seth Rollins is going down to NXT rather than bringing Braun up. Kind of like, hey, you're in NXT. I'm not coming down to NXT, so you need to come to me if you want to fight me. And it just seems like Seth is just, hey, I'll go to GCW and become the championship. Like, it's not, like, hold yourself to a higher standard. Would Roman Reigns be caught dead even saying NXT, let alone being on NXT. You know what I mean?
I mean, if he was, still a little bit leaky.
Did he forget to take his meds?
I mean, the guy's name in FCW was Leaky, and then it became Roman Leaky.
Was he the Leaky Link?
I think he was sponsored by Depends.
Hmm. They're getting a sponsor that's streaming into your career. He's always been acknowledged. So, yeah, not a fan of Seth Rollins coming down to NXT to wrestle Bron Breakker. I have to fucking watch NXT. Fuck you, WWE. Um, as everybody knows, Collision is a couple of hours away from Collision. What I found interesting is he was going to be commentating for Collision, and that is Kevin Kelly, Nigel McGuinness, and JR. How does that commentary lineup appeal to you, Stuart? Does it?
That commentary team appeals to me like a fart in a stiff wind. Jesus, I mean, JR is part-time as it is. I mean, if I'm honest, I think Shivani, Taz, and Excalibur, I think they're honestly they're probably currently the best commentary team right now. And they're funny. They're entertaining. But I digress. I mean, I laugh whenever, Taz, starts singing along to Tarzan Boy. Or starts making up lyrics to Ruby Soho's theme. Ruby Soho, Ruby Soho. That's literally all he says.
I feel you.
And of course, there's, the I Digress challenge, If I
Yeah.
had a nickel for every time Taz digressed, I'd have a shitload of nickels.
You'd be digressed to nothing.
And it's even funnier when Excalibur, Shivani, or Taz end up porting or screwing up. Because then it ends up on Botchamania.
I mean, at this point, Shivani just don't give a shit. I mean, you
It's...
could tell.
Oh my god. That reminds me. I have a Tony Schiavone dad joke.
Well, let's do it.
What does Tony Schiavone say when he's attacked by bees?
What?
It stings!
No. And that was your dad joke of the night. Um, I like Kevin Kelly. I like him on New Japan. Good on New Japan. Happy with him on New Japan. I don't see where Kevin Kelly is gonna pretend to make look like he gives a shit about what's going on in AEW. Because it's hard to, I would say it's hard to go from New Japan to AEW. My goodness, I mean, he was solid when he was on NXT. He was good. But then again, he was with Ronaldo as well. So there was that. And I mean, at this point, does JR know that he still works for AEW? It was putting
Oh
out there
God.
because he says, "Okay, I'm doing this."
Uh, who knows
I mean,
at
he
this
didn't know
point?
that Sabu was the special guest enforcer.
Well,
I mean, could we? Would it be asking too much if we had Taz, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur on Wednesday on Saturday nights? I mean,
I
with
mean, I
the
mean,
Wednesday as well.
I mean, yeah. Considering that the fact that Tony Khan has explicitly stated there's not going to be a roster split.
Hmm. So you have commentator splits, but you don't have roster splits.
I think Tony Khan has more commentators signed than he knows what to do with.
You might not be wrong about that. I mean, isn't the Big Show still contracted to AEW?
And last thing I heard about Paul White was that he was trying to get back into the ring again.
I think he had surgery again on something.
And, hey, why not Mark Henry?
I think he only knows how to say it's time for the main event. Wouldn't Ian Riccaboni be the perfect and what's the other guy's name? Caprice Coleman. Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman be the perfect choice to
but
do commentary.
but they're Ring of Honor.
And who owns Ring of Honor?
Yes, but having Ring of Honor's guys randomly there, uh, it, it doesn't it doesn't that doesn't make sense.
Okay, but having the Ring of Honor World Champion and Tag Team Champions on every Tuesday and on every Wednesday and uh, Friday makes sense.
Well, considering that Tony lied about Ring of Honor being its own thing, uh,
I mean, it is kind of its own thing, but it's its own island at this point.
it's Tony's own thing. Except Tony has a bunch of his own things.
That he does.
I mean, you ask Tony Khan about the Jacksonville Jaguars, he says, "Who?"
No, he says that's a great question, and you can find out more about that on our next show on Collision. It's on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Tickets are still available. It's going to be a
Uh,
great show. It's great.
uh,
You can have
uh,
CM Punk's going to be a part of that show.
I'm convinced at this point that Tony Khan's announcements are just a deep fake AI.
Wow, you just blew my mind with that.
Like, oh, the first collision will feature CM Punk. No excitement in his voice behind it.
I mean, they buried the guy for 9 months.
I mean, it's like it's like he was reading from cue cards, and then somebody changed the cue card at the last second, and he couldn't stop himself from saying it. So now he's like, shit. Now we have to include Punk.
I don't know how to improvise.
Uh, but you know what? If it means more Ace Steel shenanigans.
I mean, I just heard that COVID is back on the rise. Do we need a motherfucker biting people? You don't want anybody to catch anything. Right, like to the news. Um, Ryback had an exchange with Booker T online. Some words were exchanged between the two. Booker T invited Ryback onto the show to talk to him and talk things out. Ryback said, I come on as long as it's live, which then Booker T said, you're making demands, and instead of coming on and talking to me like a man and to make amends, the offer is rescinded. Well, still talking about Ryback in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, go from Ryback to Payback. I mean, uh,
I mean,
yeah,
we
well,
talked about him last a couple weeks ago that he wants to wrestle Goldberg, so and he is trying to make an in-ring return. So is making trouble with Booker T money, I suppose.
if Ryback ends up anywhere, it's AEW because again, I have to bring this up. Uh, you know who Ryback's roommate was during his time, training and down in LVW?
Tony Khan,
No, Pat Buck.
fuck.
No, Buck.
You say fuck, I say fuck.
Um, so yeah,
I mean, did you see Pat Buck's ring here?
Liberace saw that ring gear. God damn, that was loud. Uh,
I mean, if I was trained by him, would I say that would I admit that he trained me? I'm not sure.
oh, he's got a great amount of in-ring talent and experience. The man just the man's afraid to be charismatic.
I kind of feel like if there's like a really strong breeze, his hair is just going to blow off. It looks very delicate.
Yeah, put it this way. There's a reason, Pat Buck isn't actually competing on any Creative Pro shows, and it's not because he's working for AEW. Uh, you know what? I might as well plug this right now. Uh, June 29th, a friend of mine out in Patchogue, Long Island, is going to be wrestling for Outlaw Wrestling, and this guy I trained with, and he's going to have Jimmy Hart in his corner.
Awesome. What's the guy's name?
I don't know if he's still going by his the gimmick he used to do. We used to call him. He went by the name Wendell Oliver Wentworth.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, he was wow. But I know him as Luis Ocasio. So,
Um, The Rock.
Uh,
Oh, what?
oh, Payback is coming back.
Oh, that's in Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh. Yep,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Yep, September 2nd. That's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it's not exactly one of the biggest pay-per-views that they well, PLE at the point. It's not like Armageddon, Backlash. It's still relatively young in the bracket of WWE. No.
Mm, yeah, I mean, considering the best of the fall, they're in. They're up and down the east coast of the U.S. Mostly. Survivor Series is going to be somewhere along the East Coast.
Wasn't it in Boston last year?
It was in Boston. The only event in November so far for WWE is a November 6th Raw at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, PA. I think that's wrong. I think they meant to say Connecticut. Because there's no reason they would go do a show in Pennsylvania and go back there only 2 months later.
But
Um, so is there a chance Boston sees another Survivor Series? It's quite possible. It's also possible the Prudential Center could get it.
usually it's TT Gordon.
Well, no, I'm saying it could be Boston. It could be New Jersey.
Oh,
Uh, we know it's not going to be Philadelphia.
more than likely not.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be. Uh, it could be in. It could be in Portland. Uh, I have a feeling they might do it in DC.
I mean, it could be anywhere at this point.
Uh,
Speaking of, could be anywhere at this point. The Rock. Black Adam Bond. There's a pun there. Young Rock was canceled, and the XFL
XFL,
lost $60 million. I'm
and
assuming not.
he.
I'm assuming not all of that is The Rock's money. It goes a lot of ways, but losing $60 million, not a good look. No,
Except for the fact that uh, Rock has not given up on the XFL.
well, I mean that is
He's
the definition of insanity, correct?
he's he has gone on record and saying that he expects the XFL to start showing some sort of dividend or liquidity in 2027.
We could all be dead by 2027. I get what he's coming from, but it doesn't help him now. It just seems like it's been failure after failure. Case in
I mean,
point, spoiler alert, if you saw Cast X, The Rock makes a cameo. he's lost so much money in the last 6 months that he crawled back to Vin Diesel.
And the fact that he has to star in a movie with John Cena. Um,
I mean, did you see Fast X?
yeah, I'm about to, but I have read the entirety. Rock is in the post-credit scene. Um, when considering that Rock is now out of the DCU.
Yes.
Uh,
All I'm saying is
I,
that
I,
John
I'll
Cena
tell you
might.
off air who's back in the DCU though. It's not wrestling related though.
I mean, John. If we're talking about John Cena in the next Fast movie, that might not be that might not be practical. Um, but hey, we'll see how that goes. That being said, with all these monumental failures, is Rock just going to double down, or are we going to see him pucker up the fence and do a match for WWE?
Do they do they think they finally want to try and put Rock and Roman together? I don't think Rock's in danger of losing enough dollars where he needs to. If Rock does it, it's going to be a matter of pride, not a financial need.
I'm going back to Vin Diesel. Pride or financial?
I mean, is he going back to Vin Diesel or is he going back to, Jason Statham?
Well, I mean, he was in the same movie on the same movie
I mean,
screen as Vin Diesel. It is the Fast and Furious saga.
see, they need to be considering that, the villain in Fast X was Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, I mean Jason Momoa. Um, but have you ever seen Jason Momoa and Roman Reigns in the same room? I don't think so.
I haven't.
My point. Um, I mean, they're just they're, they're good. The fast movies in and of themselves are, put it this way, if the term jumping the shark means anything, not only did they literally jump the shark, they turned the shark into a fucking transformer with chrome dubs, fucking nitrous boosters, and they they drove it down the fucking Hoover Dam, and then shot it right up to Mars, and somehow managed to land in the crack of God Himself.
Holy. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Uh, but I mean, Fast 11, where they actually have to drive to God. Considering the fact that they unkilled Gal Gadot.
They unkilled half of the fucking cast.
I know.
You know, she sees the Roxy would say, "I'm still alive in the DCU."
I mean, nah, anymore.
I mean, she didn't die,
Well,
but she came back to the Fast and Furious.
yes. But if you've seen The Flash,
Fuck the Flash.
oh no, well, oh God, I'll tell you off the air.
Don't know.
Uh, I mean, I'm kind of surprised they haven't deep faked Paul Walker.
They kinda did.
They had no. They took what he shot for the last one, Fast 7, the last one he was a part of, and any other shots were shot from behind with his brother, who looks remarkably a lot like him, even though they're not twins.
Well, I mean, if they could bring Governor Tarkin back in Star Wars for Rogue One, they could fucking bring back Paul Walker.
Uh, hmm. Yeah, fair enough. But also, Peter Cushing had been dead for over 50 years by that time.
I mean, how long was Doc Ock dead before he made an appearance in Far From Home?
Yes, and of course, Carrie Fisher, dying the month the Last Jedi was released.
Right, but they already shot that.
Yeah, but they were in the process of shooting everything for Rise of Skywalker. So there's a reason there's a lot of Uncanny Valley, Princess Leia, because it's her face on Carrie Fisher's daughter's body.
Well, speaking of Uncanny Valley, Mace and Mansoor, they were once models and now they are men without homes.
But they don't come from a land down under.
Well, women glow and men sundown.
Can you feel the thunder?
You better run, you better take cover. Yeah, Maximum Male Models is apparently dead, and photos of them are being repackaged.
Shush! Shush, please! Thank you!
I mean, on one point, it makes no sense because the whole reason Maxie or Lexi or Max,
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine was actively pursuing Otis was to be a part of Maximum Male Models, and then she just up and left Male Models for Otis and Gable, with no
And,
sign of Mace or Mansoor to begin with.
well, considering that, Pretty Deadly is now a part of SmackDown, they don't need Maximum Male Models anymore.
You're not wrong about that.
Honestly, I like the fact that they stuck Maxine with Chad and Otis. They're they're starting on the tweener route. They they might even get American Alpha big.
Um, I don't know. I usually speed up those segments, if I'm being honest. It
I
just
mean,
seems like it's a recycled storyline that Maxine is doing what the
Mandy
fuck
Rose.
Mandy Rose was doing with Otis.
But it's also now Maxine is technically the first female member of the Alpha Academy, and she's actually learning to wrestle. And
Correct if I'm wrong. Was she a wrestler before she started doing what she did with WWE?
they wanted her to, but she was the woman in the crowd who during NXT who Von Wagner's eyebrow ridge was staring at.
That's
The one he would look into the crowd, and she would give the gladiator thumbs up or thumbs down, do that whole Batista shtick.
that sounds really disturbing.
I mean, hey, now, Von Wagner's now got a really hot therapist. So
What?
have you have not you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my God!
Like,
Look it up when you get a chance, because Von Wagner now has a hot female therapist.
is it all gold,
And it's,
Gigi?
no, I don't know who it is, and I was trying to find out who it was for days, and I couldn't find an answer.
It's kind of
I'll,
like the
tell,
Holy.
I'll tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't Dr. Shelby.
Kind of like the Holly Cameron question on AEW. She was just the assistant, and we didn't know who the fuck she was to QT Marshall, and then they just gave her a name.
Uh,
And it was like, why did it take you so long?
Crap! I had some. Damn it.
So are you telling me that they're going the Dr. Stevie route with Ron Wagner?
No, he's getting therapy from a really hot therapist.
So there's no angle? That's just we get to see a pretty lady on NXT
Yeah.
TV? And that's it?
Apparently, I mean, put it this way: come Tuesday is about to get a whole new meaning.
I could say that it probably had that meaning for quite some time when it comes to NXT.
Well, for me, every day is come Tuesday.
I don't know how to segue from that.
It's
Let's
great
go.
when I can serve it down at the homeless shelter.
There's a pair of new signees from WWE, the Cavinder Twins.
Oh yes, who were on NXT TV a week ago when they hoisted Thea Hale up on their shoulders after that little spark plug won the battle royal to become number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yes, you just saw a lot of words I don't understand right now. But
WWE has a twin fetish.
and I mean, if twins weren't so successful in the company, I would say that okay, but it has worked for them in the past. No, the Bella twins, Jimmy and Jay, and that's just talking about the last decade. Um, so do these two girls have a lot of uh upswing in WWE?
Well, they're part of the group that WWE is now calling the NILs, or the next in lines. And it seems they're trying to put some form of cohesion and give some sort of ordinance, some sort of order as to who should get priority when moving up, or or getting a push. Um, it's
Could we see a new Bella twins with these two girls?
I think they're gonna they'll be unfairly compared to the Bella Twins. And then watch. the Bellas will end up coming back.
I mean,
Because
there's always a possibility of a return for the Bellas. I think that door is open.
well, put it this way, they don't like being out of the spotlight so long.
This is true. And this is
Hell,
essentially
even I want to see a second season of Barmageddon.
I think everybody does. But this is essentially WWE saying, hey, we're replacing the Bellas, right?
Any group of twins would have would draw that comparison. I mean, they're the most successful. Honestly, I think they're probably the most successful female wrestlers outside of the ring.
You might not be wrong about that. But I mean, if there was male twins, brothers, would we be comparing them to Jimmy and Jay?
No, uh, because Jimmy and Jay never used the fact that they were twins to steal victories. They never used that twin magic.
I feel like they used it maybe once or twice back, like when they
Oh,
first originally came into WWE,
mm,
but
no, they were still drastic. They were still very different looking.
I was gonna say
Because
they did drastically change from each other.
but yeah.
Well,
Uh,
if you
okay.
I mean, if it's going to be okay, these girls are not going to be. They're going to be so good that they're going to say that the Bella twins were just a precursor to them. They were the Bella twins. They were the Cavalier twins before they were there. Cavinder,
Cavinder.
Cavalier, potato. Um, or it could just be a failed experiment in that we'll never talk about these girls ever again on the show or in life. Um, that's the way I see it. Um, something we might not be talking about ever again is the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. They are now the WWE and World Heavyweight Championship, Women's Championships. They're basically just mini titles versions of the WWE and World Heavyweight Championship with a white strap, so you know it's for Um, you've been a big proponent of why would they changing the championships? They changed the championship, Scooter. How do you feel about it?
I guess they feel having the name of the show in the title takes away from it and puts a restriction on it.
I
Like,
mean, I would say that, yeah.
I mean, I honestly was expecting Rhea to get to become the women's world heavyweight champion.
Well, she is the world champion, but you can't say wait.
I mean, she never says wait to Dom. Heyo.
As Clara.
I mean, even for a minute, I thought, like, wait a minute. Wait. So they're naming the belt the same thing as Asuka? Like, because what they did for Asuka, they said Women's World Champion. And they said the same thing with Rhea. And then they added WWE in. Or was it Asuka's WWE Women's Champion and Rhea is Women's World Champion.
Yeah. And Asuka
Which
is
is
WWE.
Which is fucking stupid because now, by default, Rhea looks superior.
I mean, would it have been stupid if they called Asuka the WWE Universal Champion?
Now, having the Universal Women's Champion and the World Women's World Champion, that would have made sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the immediate future, somebody gets so fed up with trying to remember how to do it correctly that they say, screw it. We're calling it the Women's Universal and the Women's World. It's easier this way.
I imagine that they were going to drop the Universal for women in the near future anyway. Because nobody cares about the Universal Championship.
I think they may be looking at creating 2 new singles titles and calling one the Raw Championship and the other the SmackDown Championship, and they function more like television championships.
Well, I mean, they are unifying the NXT and what they did, the WWE and NXT Tag Team Women's Championships.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Closing that pay gap.
Yep. I mean, it makes more sense to kill those titles and bring back and just bring a secondary women's championship, if being honest. But I digress. Wasn't a nickel for you. Um. So yeah, and I mean, if one gets drafted to one brand and another gets drafted to the other brand, you don't have to worry about a championship swap ceremony. There's no brand associated with the title. It just
Yep.
goes to wherever it needs to go. You could have the women's world championship on the same show as the WWE champion, and the women's WWE championship with the men's world heavyweight championship. It's easier this way. That's what my therapist says. All right. Any last bit of news you want to bring in, or should we move to
Carlito has re-signed.
Is that confirmed?
Yes. He's his last independent booking was today, actually. What his capacity will be, remains to be seen.
I mean, the motherfucker looked jacked. I can imagine that you don't tie the rocket ship to this guy and see how far
Hold
you
on.
can go with him. You think you
Okay.
Sculpted?
Oh. No, I was. It's something stuck in my throat.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Good. All good.
Did you digress too much?
No, I didn't chew enough.
Oh. So, yeah, I think Carlito would be great and back in WWE. I honestly get as much as you can, as fast as you can from him. Obviously, the people are going to want to see him. It's a for the people that know what he's done in WWE before, and for the people that haven't. Oh,
I saw him. I saw Carlito the day after he dropped the Intercontinental title to Ric Flair.
wow.
Yeah, and I got to see Ric Flair with the Intercontinental title around his waist.
Oh, that's crazy. All right. I believe that will conclude the news, and now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more win.
use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with NJPW G1 Climax 2023. We're about a month out at this point, but the blocks have been determined. Everybody that is supposed to be in it is in it, and it is an interesting one to say the least. This year they are doing the 4 block format rather than 2 block format. Personally, I prefer the 2 block format opposed to the 4 block. It just makes for more interesting matchups. But Scooter, did you get a glimpse of the blocks this year?
Yeah, yes, I did.
All right, as a whole, how did you feel about all the entrants, the field, etc.?
Uh, I think I think 2 have definite winners, and the other 2 it's a toss up between 2 specific uh, competitors.
I feel like everybody that is in it should be in it, and then there's obviously a couple of guys that are, drawn in there because they couldn't get anybody from outside. I mean, it's a big tournament. I believe there's 32 or 31 competitors.
Uh,
Let's let's get into D Block. We got Hiroshi Tanahashi, 22 consecutive G1 entrants. Tetsuya Naito, Hiroki Goto, Zack Sabre Jr., Toru Yano, Jeff Cobb, Shane Haste, and Alex Coughlin, all in the D Block. I mean, the D Block heavy hitter here is Naito. I could make say to like a lesser degree Zack Sabre and Jeff Cobb. Um, but how do you feel about this D Block?
I'd I'd say I'd say you might have to include Tanahashi. Uh,
I feel like Tanahashi is done at this point. He's only really there because the crowd wants to see him. It's a happy to see you pop.
but
If
yeah,
anything,
I mean, okay, Naito and ZSJ again. Uh, which probably means which probably means Toru Yano.
I mean, Yano should always belong in G1 because he always fucks somebody's G1 up. He always has that one, two, three, four upset victories that get him, in some cases, almost up to the final.
Yeah, but never has Toru Yano fucked up his own.
Oh, he's fucked up his own G1 before. Some of that's
Him
the crowd
being in it,
cause.
him being in it. Period. Fucks it up.
Jeff
Fafa.
Jeff Cobb is in there, and I think he's the only person that could maybe take this from Naito, if I'm being honest.
I mean, it's going to be awesome to see ventriloquist wrestling.
You're talking about Alex Coughlin?
No, Jeff Dunham. I mean Cobb.
Hmm. I mean, if Dexter Loomis ever goes missing, Alex Coughlin would be a great replacement. Alright, D Block. Who wins?
ZSJ.
Going with Naito. Alright, C Block. David Finlay, Tomohiro Ishii, Evil, Tamatanga, Shingo Takagi, Aran Hanare, Eddie Kingston, and Mad Mike Nichols. Um, I feel like D Block was just all of, G1 classic superstars. And this one is more of like the heavy hitters. And I'm not saying, oh, like big names. I mean people that just really hit the fuck hard. You know what I mean?
For Gaijins. First of all, Eddie Kingston?
Yeah. Eddie Kingston is in the G1 Climax.
Why?
Obviously, Moxley wasn't available. And but
Oh my.
if I'm being completely honest, Eddie Kingston has had more matches in New Japan in this year than he has in AEW.
He. Okay. He's also ingested, more rice and red meat than anybody, too. The guy's fat!
I mean,
I'm sorry.
he's no better than that fat motherfucker Adam Cole.
Ugh, God. Oh, Adam Cole is so fat. His body fat percentage is 0.01. That's so fat.
One thing we forgot to mention, Baron Corbin is body shamed online.
Oh my God, that's it. Oh, that's why they're doing Bron Breakker and Seth to apologize for putting Baron Corbin against Carmelo Hayes. That's it.
There you go. Alright, what names stick out to you?
Um, aside from the stomach of Eddie Kingston, I'm cracking myself up. Well, let's see. Takagi, Tonga, and Ishii are the clear ones. I'd say Evil, but I think Evil's time is come and gone.
Yes, Evil's time has passed. Um, David Finlay, obviously. Last year he did really great. Didn't win his walk, but he did good. And now he's the leader of Bullet Club. So
Which version?
we're at Bullet Club
69.
X? Bullet
Uh,
Club X, I suppose, because 10 years. Um, I feel like Tama has to get a W over Finlay just to get a title opportunity because Finlay is the never openweight champion at this point.
uh, Takagi and Finlay are in the same block again, as well. Along with, and Naito, Goto, and Tanahashi are once again in the same block.
I feel like if Naito, for me personally, is going to win D block, you can't have Takagi win C block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Kingston might have a few upsets in this. I could easily see him beating Evil. I could see him taking a W from Ishii. And to a lesser degree, I would say if they want to bring him back, have him take a W over Philly too.
But does this mean that Eddie is going to do the job for Nichols and Hanare?
Right. I mean, Tamatonga won B block last year, so he's not going to win C block this year, in my opinion. It kind of just feels like he's there for one match. That one match is the David Finlay match. He's going to win that match and fight Finlay for the never again. Alright, who wins C block, Scooter?
Hmm. You know what? I think it's either Tamatonga or Ishii.
I think I'm gonna go with Finlay. For some reason, I feel like if there's going to be like a complete clusterfuck, I don't know why. I feel like they might make it a clusterfuck and have Evil win C block.
I mean, you're forgetting Finlay was part of the block that had a 6-way tie for second place,
This is correct.
and everybody was a winner except Juice Robinson.
That's the story of his life. But then again, he married Tony Storm, so who's really winning? Alright, B block. Kazuchika Okada. Yoshihashi. Scooter?
Yay, Yoshihashi!
Fuck Yoshihashi.
Well, fuck Ronda Rousey.
Taichi, Kenta, Great-O-Khan, Will Ospreay, Tangaloa, and El Phantasmo.
Talk about
Seems
stock.
this seems like the banger block to me. Like all the good matches are going to be out of this block.
Kenta Okada. My God. Just Kenta and Okada alone.
I'm interested to see Khan versus Ospreay, the first two people in the United Empire. I'm excited to see ELP versus Okada as well. I mean, a lot of these people haven't had one-on-one matches with Okada, excluding Okan and Ospreay. So it is interesting. The other interesting thing is Okada's in B block. Okada has been in 12 consecutive G1s, all A block. This is his first B block. It's kind of weird, if I'm being honest.
Hmm. But does this spell a problem?
In what way?
Does this change mean there's something grand on the horizon or something bad on the horizon?
For Okada?
For Okada's entire performance in this G1.
Well, I mean, he won the last two G1s. So,
I mean, are they gonna have him do what Naito did and win a third one, or at least a fourth one?
well,
So Okada's won 3, Naito's won 3.
Tanahashi has won 3. Yeah, Tanahashi's won 3. I mean, the only person that has more G1 wins is what is his name?
Ibushi,
Uh, no,
Jay White, and not Makabe, no.
not no, he's on the older side.
Inoki,
No, fuck, what's his name? Chono,
Kensuke,
Masahiro Chono.
Masahiro Chono. Okay.
Five G1 wins. So I mean, it's possible, but I feel. I mean, again, it's Okada. He doesn't lose matches, so he's going to win B block, obviously. What's your use for them?
Mark my words. It's Yoshihashi time.
Fuck Yoshihashi.
It's Yoshihashi time. It's Yoshihashi time. Remember, Yoshihashi's going into this with gold around his waist.
I mean, so is Okada.
It's not the same!
And Taichi is the KOP champion. Kenta is the New Japan Strong champion. Will O'Khan is the RPW British Heavyweight champion.
And suddenly James had to go.
Okay, so you're Yoshihashi.
I won't be upset if Yoshihashi wins. He won't, though. But I'm also kind of sick of seeing Okada.
Well,
Like,
born to love it.
does Okada really need to win again?
Well, he's not going to win the G1, in my what I feel. But he's gonna win B block for sure.
Uh,
I mean that, or
uh,
he just completely shits the bed.
yeah, I mean,
It doesn't sound like
I,
that.
God. You, you know what? Oh, you know what? Great Khan.
All right, and then we got A block. Sanada, Chase Owens, Hikuleo, Ren Narita, Sota Uno, Yoda Tsuchi, Gabe Kidd, Kato Kiyomiya.
Kayomi,
Kiyomiya.
Kayomiya.
Kato Kiyomiya. Other than Sanada and Chase Owens, this is all these guys first G1. And Sanada is coming in as the champion and the veteran of all of this. I mean, there's Chase Owens, but who cares about Chase Owens? He's useless. What's your use for him?
The only Owens that matters is Kevin. It's it's Sonata and Hikuleo clearly the front runners to me. I don't think Sonata is. I mean, as champion, it's not gonna win. So I'm going with Hikuleo.
Hmm. I They're not ready to pull the trigger on Yamamoto. Sota, he's a good guy, but I don't think he's. I think he's gonna have an impressive run. I don't think he's going to win. Then you got Yoda Tsuji, whose first match in New Japan was against Sanada for the championship at their SummerSlam. Dominion. They gotta do something with this guy. If he's not going to win, then he's at least going to get a W on Sonata, right?
Yeah, probably, and then they can do a rematch on night one of Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom's only one
Shut
night
up.
again.
Oh, it's only one night. Aw. Well then, okay, never mind. Yep. Yoda Tsuji is fucked.
Where is Kaliko when you need him? Um, I think you know what? Sonata don't do good in this tournament, so fuck it. Yoda Tsuji.
No, Yoda Tsuji.
Yes. So
True or true not? There is no try.
we got
So says Yoda.
I got Yoda Tsuji versus Okada in the semis, and David Finlay versus Naito in the semis as well.
Uh, let's see. Hikuleo, Great Khan. Uh, Ishii, Zack Sabre Jr.
So I say Naito beats Finlay, and Okada beats Tsuji, and then we got Naito, Okada, Naito wins.
uh, Great Khan for Hikuleo. Ishii over ZSJ. Ishii and Great Khan. Ishii wins.
Alright, I think that will conclude our coverage of the G1 Climax for now. We'll pick everything up another time. That'll conclude this episode as well. Join us next Saturday as we preview the Forbidden Door tape preview. We're putting our Forbidden Letter into the Forbidden Mail slot. And see.
You could join us in the Forbidden Garage for some Forbidden Brewskis.
Yeah.
You could take a dump in our Forbidden Toilet.
It's all great forbidden. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube Castbox. This was sponsored by Real Energy and Toilet Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview I believe Derek and Danny did for the Double B's. And on this Wednesday, we interview Lucky Ross. Yes, that's correct. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on Twitter and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. And follow me personally at JamesJ993. What can we find, Scooter?
As always, find me on Twitter at ScooterDust. The remix returns to the airwaves July 1st, 3 p.m. Eastern, Money in the Bank. I can also announce that an actual new series is in development over on my channel involving scenarios as dictated by the AI known as ChatGPT. It's the Arcane Almanac, the first episode. I'm hoping to theme the season. The first one, the first episode is going to simulate a four-way battle between Hollywood's four Chris's: Pratt, Hemsworth, Pine, Evans, and it takes place across numerous sets of their most iconic roles. And of course, don't forget to wallow in all my Dungeons and Dragons shenanigans along with Rio Constantino Jr. over on the Smoking Dragons channel, twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons. New content released every insert day here.
Alright. For Coleco Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.